Hi, third graders. It's Ms.Pertrassi here again to do some more word problems. This week, it's with units of measurement that have to do with volume. Our first word problem today is going to be using liters. You remember from last week that we have 5 important steps when we're doing a word problem. First, understand the story or the problem, identify the important parts, then choose a strategy that's going to work best to solve your problem, adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing based on the information. Solve the problem, and then, of course, check to make sure your answer makes sense. When we're working with measurement, we also want to make sure we write the units of measure with our answer. So first of all, I'm going to read the first story. Truck A, which I'm going to call the blue truck, carries 375 liters of gasoline, while truck B, I'm going to call that the red one, carries 298 liters of gasoline. What is the total volume of gasoline in the two trucks? Well, I've already learned that liters are a form of measurement for volume. And in my story, I see the two trucks both carrying gasoline. So I'm thinking of the story and what is going to happen. So now I'm ready to go and take my marker here and underline my key important information. So truck A carries 375 liters and truck B carries 298 liters. Oh, let me forget the liters. What is the total volume of gasoline in the two trucks is my question. So I'm going to circle total volume because that's a clue if I'm going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide in the two trucks. So ding, ding, ding. I know when it says total in two trucks, they're putting it together. So already I know from my past experience of word problems that this is going to be an addition problem. We haven't done 3-digit addition in a while, and one of my favorite go-to strategies is expanded form. So I'm going to have 300 plus 70 plus 5 for truck A, which I said is the blue one. Then I'm going to have 200 plus 90 plus 8 in my ones column. And don't forget to put the symbol plus. Now I'm going to add those together. So I know 8 plus 5 is 13. So I'm going to put 13. And then 70 plus 90 is 160. And then I know that 300 plus 200 is 500. That, my brain is going too fast. I'm sure your mathematician brains are doing that as well. So now I'm going to put this all together. I have a 3 in my ones. I'm going to add this 10 to 60, which makes it a 70. You know what? I'm going to put my answer down here. That's not going to work. So I'm going to have my 3 in my ones. This 10 goes with 60, which makes it a 70. And this 100 goes with a 500, which makes it 600. So the two trucks' total volume of gasoline is 673. And I'm going back to my form of measurement, liters. The coolest thing that I find about all this is it doesn't always matter what measurement you're working with. You go back to the strategies that you knew before about solving word problems. So the answer is 673 liters of gasoline. And I could continue to write that if I could fit it. Thank you, boys and girls. Now, if you can go get a pencil and a paper, you are going to do a we do with me in just a moment. I'll give you time to go get it.
Pencils?
Get your paper and pencil.
Okay, I'm back, so we can do a we do together. Hopefully you have a paper and pencil. The first thing, of course, we're going to do is read our word problem. So we're going to read this together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Read with me. Mary has 4 cartons of milk. Each carton has a volume of 90 milliliters. You remember from the past that ml represents milliliters. Then we have our question. Read with me again. What is the total volume of the 4 cartons of milk? Good reading. Okay, now we're going to get our pencils. And somebody yell out to me, what do you think you're going to do first? Good. We're going to underline and circle key information. So we have 4 cartons, I heard somebody say. Let's underline of milk so we know what we're talking about. Ooh, yay. Somebody yelled out each. That's a really important word in solving word problems because it's telling us that we want to know about each carton of milk. And they have a volume of 90 milliliters. Let's not forget that measurement. Yes, on to our question. Oh, someone remembered from before, total volume from my I do of the 4 cartons of milk. All right, so we've got some key information and some thinking tools based on our underlining and circling. So now we have to decide if we're going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide. It does want the total volume like before, but we have that special word each. That means that each carton has the same amount, and each of them has 90. Oh yes, I think that's a great idea. You draw 4 rectangles so that you can have your 4 cartons of milk, and then we're going to label them each with a 90. That will help us to identify how much is in each. Okay, so now in looking at that, we could add them all together as repeated addition, which we know also turns into what? That's right, multiplication. So down here, we're going to use our multiplication of 90 times what? 4. Great. So we have 90 times 4 to figure out how many milliliters are in all 4 cartons. Now we might remember from our strategies in the past, when you're working with multiplication of tens and ones, you can actually go ahead and multiply the tens first. We all know that 9 times 4 is equal to what? That's right, 36. I'd wait to hear everybody's. Okay, and then we're just going to add the 0 one. So we're going to put that as 360 because 4 times 0 is 0. And then we're going to remember to add our measurement. So 4 cartons of milk is 360 milliliters. Now get ready to do your do, which is going to be coming up next. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh yeah, it is you do time.
Okay, it's your turn to do this one all by yourself. Let's remember the rules of working on word problems. So the first one is understand the story or the problem that you're trying to solve. Identify the important parts by circling and underlining and kind of making notes to yourself, like drawing pictures. Choose a strategy after you've done your thinking. Are you going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide to solve your problem based on the evidence? And then solve the problem. And lastly, see if it makes sense. So go ahead and read this word problem. Decide what the question's asking you to do. Don't forget to show your work. And solve your problem using liters for volume. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed these lessons today. Bye-bye.